What do you guys think about Khamzat and Strickland?
I know they say that Khamzat submitted him, and everybody's saying how underrated his grappling is, the guys that are working with him. He's durable.
He's so hard to hit, man. He's got a weird style. And his jab is on point. He just f***ed up with Alex. Yeah. You just can't make any mistakes with Alex.
Who made Khamzat look human? Gilbert Burns, Mar Usman, Sean. If there's any bit of blood in the water, he's finisher.
In the second. So you're looking at 12 fighters out of 15 that didn't see the third round. Strickland's got 5 rounds here, and he knows he can fight 5 rounds. But there's a difference between not winning on the scorecards and losing those rounds. And I'm going to tell you what the difference is, because we saw it in the Drickers fight. And for as chaotic and as short as the Kevin Holland fight was, there was something really valuable in that fight for me. And if I'm a coach, if I'm in the corner of Strickland, I'm going, right, I hate to say this, bro, you're going to hate me for this, but every sparring session, we're going to start with a sprint round. Your first round is going to be chaos. I'm going to throw people at you. We're going to switch fresh partners in.
Happen here. Again, Chimaev, very strong, very active, very fast. We know he's got the cardio now to go 5 rounds, so I just don't see it boding very well. I think the overall thing here is I just think Chimaev is like a freak athlete. He's too big, too strong, will get it done. I know height and reach-wise, he's not that much bigger. I mean, they're pretty much the same size, but it's just I think Chimaev's going to be a lot stronger, despite the fact that he did used to fight at 170, but so did Strickland. And I know Strickland's been more of a mainstay in the weight class, but I think Chimaev's just going to be too big, too strong. But I think Strickland will do better than DDP. I do. I think styles make fights. I think just because he beat him there, that's something that could happen. But yeah, I certainly think that that this is a fight that Chimaev will win, and I don't think I'm saying anything crazy here. And that's the way I'm going in this fight. So I guess people are going to be picking Chimaev here.
It's very weird. Right. It fucks you up, and he's really good at moving back away from shots. He's
circling out while the hands are in your face.
Yeah,
too.
It's weird.
He also throws like looping shots on purpose sometimes. Like you would think it's bad technique, but he's like finding a way around your guard.
Sean Strickland's razor-sharp words cut through the tension as he stood eye-to-eye with Khamzat Chimaev, refusing to retreat while laughing directly in the face of the fighter the entire UFC roster fears like an unstoppable force. While others whisper about the Chechen destroyer with terror and respect, Strickland accomplished something unprecedented by exposing the critical flaw Chimaev desperately conceals behind his explosive fury. The hidden fragility that emerges when his first-round hurricane fails to secure the finish. This transcended typical pre-fight theatrics, becoming a complete mental dissection that stripped away the mystique surrounding Chimaev's perceived invincibility, revealing to the watching MMA world just a man who suddenly understood his intimidation tactics were useless against someone who simply refuses to be frightened.
I think pick some part on his feet, but I don't think it's going to be like that. Everybody watched his last match, like, I want to say world champion, but Olympic champion style of wrestling, just on you like a wet paper bag, or just on you, on top of you nonstop, where you can't get away.
Picture this.
Strickland understands the delicate balance between staying active and maintaining control better than virtually anyone in his division. Even under mounting pressure with chaos erupting around him, he remains constantly busy, accumulating small, meaningful strikes that build into commanding advantages across 5 brutal rounds. His war with Dricus Du Plessis demonstrated how he transforms wild firefights into controlled, systematic battles through relentless output and flawless defensive instincts. Chimaev possesses devastating power and lightning speed, but these physical advantages carry expiration dates somewhere around the 4th round. When explosive athleticism fades and fuel reserves drain empty, only mental fortitude and the capacity to reach deeper levels remain, creating the battlefield where Strickland believes he maintains an overwhelming edge over his younger, more athletic opponent.
The whole thing here is I just think Chimaev is like a freak athlete. He's too big, too strong, will get it done. I know height and reach-wise, he's not that much bigger. I mean, they're pretty much the same size, but it's just I think Chimaev's going to be a lot stronger, despite the fact that he did used to fight at 170, but so did Strickland. And I know Strickland's been more of a mainstay in the weight class, but I think Chimaev's just going to be too big, too strong. But I think Strickland will do better than DDP. I do. I think styles make fights. I think just because he beat him there, that's something that could happen. But yeah, I certainly think that that this is a fight that Chimaev will win, and I don't think I'm saying anything crazy here. And that's the way I'm going in this fight. So I guess I should say I think
most observers will favor Chimaev here, as he navigates competition with unwavering conviction that he can demolish anyone brave enough to share the cage with him. He openly revealed to Daniel Cormier that his approach never varies, seeking complete annihilation from the opening seconds and crushing opponents before they can establish any rhythm. While this supreme confidence terrorizes most of the roster, for a veteran like Strickland, it represents just another predictable pattern he has already studied extensively. He has weathered that 100-mile-per-hour aggression previously and watched it shatter against his seemingly limitless endurance. By openly questioning whether Chimaev can actually endure a lengthy grinding battle, Strickland executes brilliant strategy, injecting uncertainty into a mind accustomed only to absolute dominance. This represents psychological warfare at its finest, surprising everyone who never credited Strickland with such tactical sophistication.
Chimaev comes out fully expecting to be able to dominate everybody in front of him. He's got this impenetrable belief that we see from very few fighters, that it's just like, I can do this. Like what, like even said it to DC, like, and I think it was around the Usman fight. Like DC was like, what, are you just going to come out and like wrestle him? I mean, he's former welterweight champ and, you know, X amount of qualifications, wrestling, whatever. And Chimaev's response to DC was like, what else am I going to do, brother? Like, this is what I do. His concept of fighting is complete domination from the get-go. And this works really well for a lot of people. Like, when they first get hit with that 100-mile-an-hour strength and speed and confidence, as well as the skills to back it up, they find themselves crammed into the corner up against the fence with their arm bound, and they're taking 124 punches without really landing anything, or they're taking 68 punches without landing anything, or even in the case of Gerald Meerschaert, which is even more impressive for me, no takedowns, nothing.
The Phantom Strikes transform Strickland into a persistent nightmare that continues haunting opponents long after the final bell sounds. He intentionally delivers looping, awkward-appearing punches that seem crude superficially but are engineered to penetrate even the most sophisticated defensive systems. This bizarre methodology violates every traditional principle, yet succeeds with terrifying consistency because it confuses fighters accustomed to predictable timing and conventional patterns. When you combine this unorthodox offense with his ability to retreat while simultaneously landing clean counters, you construct an almost unsolvable riddle. Chimaev excels at cornering opponents against the fence and unleashing heavy bombardments, but without the ability to pin down a constantly moving target, he will spend entire rounds swinging at empty air. This mounting frustration possesses the power to destroy even the most disciplined fighter's mental state, creating the critical error Strickland patiently anticipates.
He also throws like looping shots on purpose sometimes. Like you would think it's bad technique, but he's like finding a way around your guard.
Yeah,
and he's catching you with weird stuff.
This relentless jab remains his signature weapon, as Joe Rogan has consistently emphasized that peak performance Strickland ranks among the most difficult humans on earth to hit cleanly. His defensive framework is impenetrable, with reaction timing approaching mechanical precision. Even when positioned directly in front of opponents, apparently within striking distance, he somehow remains just beyond the reach of solid contact. This creates a devastating problem for Chimaev, whose entire system requires landing heavy momentum-shifting blows that create takedown opportunities. When those strikes consistently miss their target, wrestling attempts become increasingly frantic and desperate, making them simpler to anticipate and neutralize. A single miscalculation in distance management from Chimaev could result in him charging directly into a perfectly timed counter that completely transforms the fight's trajectory, exposing the vulnerabilities hidden beneath all the manufactured fear and promotional hype.
It's a tough fight for Strickland, I'm not going to lie, but he is tough to take down, he's tough to hold down, he does have a ground game, and he's going to talk some shit. And I've heard there's a bunch of Chechens hunting Sean Strickland down in Las Vegas, and he's got to be careful. And I heard Sean like, hey man, I've got guns. You can come to my house, man. Here's the thing, guys. If they come to my house, I got the guns.
I'm almost certain Strickland's gonna have a gun with him.
Michael Bisping has been exceptionally vocal regarding how treacherous this matchup appears, characterizing it as an absolute danger zone for Strickland to navigate successfully. The threat of early takedown attempts is legitimately real, and should Chimaev successfully establish his suffocating control, the contest could conclude within minutes. However, there exists another dimension to this scenario that analysts seem reluctant to discuss openly. Should the takedown fail catastrophically, the psychological damage inflicted upon Chimaev will prove devastating beyond measure. He has constructed his entire fighting persona around being the aggressor, the one who dominates and destroys opposition, possessing almost zero experience receiving that level of punishment himself. Strickland conversely has built his entire career absorbing damage and refusing submission regardless of incoming strike intensity. This fundamental clash between someone who has never been truly broken versus someone who has never needed to survive creates the volatile unpredictability surrounding both this press conference confrontation and their upcoming battle.
Your last is coming off of a performance like that against somebody who we all agreed was one fight away from the title in Fluffy Hernandez. You go out there and finish him like that, jump on the mic. How do you not? Especially for a company starving for an American champion.
We lost to Strickland in 2023, November, not January, sorry. So 3 years ago.
I think
He's
I
on a
called that one.
5-fight win streak. And he beat Izzy. That was sensational. Second round, knockout, right hand over the top. Against Borralho, impressive victory, but not as good as Sean going out there and beating the brakes and finishing Fluffy. And then on the microphone as well, the way that he acted, then with the backstory and the beef and the way that, these guys are going to shit talk it up. Sean Strickland's not going to back down. People talk about wanting to see rivalries and real characters. Well, my God, you have got it here, 100%. Yeah. But the big question is, can he stop the takedowns? Can he take the shots from Khamzat? Because he's got knockout power as well. He's not just a wrestler.
Substantial differences exist between practice room performances and what unfolds when the cage door locks under blazing lights. But stories emerging from Strickland's training camps have achieved legendary status among teammates and sparring partners. Elite-level wrestlers who have witnessed him handle world-class grapplers consistently report the same conclusion that you simply cannot keep him grounded. He possesses an almost supernatural scrambling ability to return upright, utilizing techniques that appear chaotic but remain fundamentally sound and devastatingly effective. For a fighter like Chimaev, whose complete game depends on establishing and maintaining dominant top control, this scenario represents an absolute nightmare. Should he exhaust his energy reserves attempting to hold Strickland down while repeatedly failing, he enters later rounds with empty tanks facing a highly motivated opponent just reaching peak performance levels.
Always worked in the practice room. Khabib can punch and he can kick and he can fight off his back. He can do all sorts of things. But you've never seen him because he was so dominant in fighting, just for an example. So practice room is very relevant. I've never in the practice room seen somebody go throw Sean Strickland down and keep him there. Ever.
Strickland operates as a surgical striker who has already proven his ability to out-kickbox certified legends within their specialized domains, as his performance against Israel Adesanya was no fortunate accident or isolated occurrence, but rather a masterclass exhibition of technical excellence and strategic discipline. He outstruck one of MMA's most decorated kickboxers across full 25 minutes by remaining completely committed to his game plan without deviation from strategic objectives. The reality remains that nobody truly knows how Chimaev appears during extended striking exchanges because most of his contests conclude before such conversations can begin. Should Strickland successfully force this into prolonged stand-up warfare, he essentially drags Chimaev into territory where he possesses all the experience, refinement, and tactical solutions while Chimaev has virtually none. This prospect terrifies Chimaev's corner as Fight Night approaches rapidly. The surrounding energy and tension has divided the MMA community into two violently opposing factions, with one side absolutely convinced Chimaev's wrestling represents an unsolvable advantage no divisional fighter can overcome, while the other believes Strickland serves as the ultimate gatekeeper who will expose manufactured hype definitively. This transcends rankings, title opportunities, or future matchmaking considerations, representing two completely different fighting philosophies colliding at maximum velocity. One approach relies entirely on explosive, overwhelming power designed to end fights within minutes, while the other is constructed on relentless grit, consistent volume, and stubborn refusal to surrender regardless of accumulated damage, with Strickland leading efforts to systematically dismantle the carefully constructed legend Chimaev has built around himself.